Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. I'm going to be doing the Capricorn energy reading. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not, especially since this is a general reading. All right, we're going to look at what you may be struggling with. We have the moon, and I feel like it has to do with your intuition, like you're struggling with trying to follow your intuition. Also could be a Pisces. We have the Page of Wands. All right, and the Two of Wands. So my thought when I saw the Page of Wands is that you are struggling with taking new action, like doing new things and going in a new direction. I feel that, especially if you're struggling with the Two of Wands, that's opening those doors for yourself. And I feel like it's kind of doing new things for you, but I feel like it's starting out small, and maybe you're unclear in which direction to go in. Maybe you're unclear with what to do, and maybe you're just like feeling stuck. And I also feel like you're kind of staying in this energy of like, nothing's going to happen for me, nothing's going to work for me. I feel like you're in this energy of negativity with this moon card that came out, and you're feeling and I feel like you're not really seeing things for what they are, especially with the moon card. It's about kind of that deception and not really being able to see clearly. Definitely at nighttime when we're driving around, the roads seem different, and just looking out into the backyard or looking out in our area, that it seems different because there's shadows that are cast, and it's kind of creating this illusion of it being a different place, but in reality it really isn't. So I kind of feel like you're kind of clouded with this illusion that you're not able to embrace this Two of Wands and start new things or go in a new direction, or you're having this sense of confusion and you're not really sure what it is that you need to do or you want to do. Like you're feeling stuck right here. But I feel like you're kind of giving yourself this false narrative about the possibilities of what could happen. So let's look at the advice from the tarot. We have the Page of Cups, which is about your emotions and your feelings. And we have the Four of Cups. So again, we have the cups, and then we have the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel that the advice from the tarot is really to look at your emotions and your feelings, and is there something that's holding you back emotionally? Did something happen to you where you feel that you're still holding on to some feelings about something? Especially with Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn sun and a Capricorn rising. I definitely have struggled with holding on to emotions and feelings when someone did something to hurt me, or I felt let down, or I felt disappointed. Definitely I would kind of always think of those things, and to this day I still do, and I'm still trying to work on that. But the most important thing is that you realize, okay, this is the way that I am, that I know that I'm the type of person that if something goes wrong, that I'm going to hold on to those emotions and those feelings. And every time I see that person, and every time I think about that person or that situation, that I'm going to feel negative, that I'm going to feel hurt, that I'm going to feel in a negative way. And it's realizing that and saying, okay, let me move from focusing on those feelings. And and what you're doing is that you're constantly reminding yourself of this negative emotions and feelings that you're having. So every time you think about it, when you think about something, like I feel like it's kind of connected to the moon. So every time you think about something where you feel sad, or you feel angry, or you feel let down, or you feel disappointed, that you're putting yourself in that energy, and you're kind of telling yourself that this is where I want to be. Of course, I'm not a doctor or a therapist, but this is just what I figured out for myself. Is that you're telling yourself that this is where you want to be, that you want to be in this state of feeling hurt, feeling sad, feeling lonely, because I know this from my own experience. And so what you do is you go and you find those things to keep yourself in that energy, and you start thinking about more things, and you say, okay, well, I remember when this person did this and that person did that, and I remember when this didn't work out. And then you find yourself looking on social media, and you're looking for those things that are, you know, confirming that feeling of feeling sad and feeling lonely and feeling upset. And you start looking for those things, and you're like, oh, okay, well, now I'm going to eat the junk food. I'm not going to stay on my diet anymore, or I'm not going to eat good, and I'm going to go find some junk food to eat. And then you're like, oh, I don't really feel like getting out there and doing anything. And so then it starts snowballing into something bigger. But I feel that what the tarot is saying is, look at what energy you're putting yourself into and say, okay, I have a habit of holding on to negative feelings and emotions, and that spirals and that moves into something that is keeping me in that energy. So what you need to do is you need to change that. You need to focus on something different. You need to focus on this one cup that's up over here and looking at the positive, right? That you may feel that you have all of this negative going on, that you have 3 cups filled with negativity. But the tarot is saying, look at the cup that you have that has the positive. Even though there's like all of this dark all around here, and there's just like this one little cup that's just kind of shining and glowing here. And it's saying to look up, to look at that, to refocus, reprogram what you're thinking about, to catch yourself and say, okay, I'm not going to focus on the negative things, and I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to focus on all of the positive things that I have. And as I've said many times before, what are those tools that you have that you can use for yourself to focus on, that when you feel that you're struggling, that you can shift your focus, and that you can say, okay, yeah, I have these 3 cups here with this negativity, but I'm going to choose to turn my focus onto something that is positive, right? To look and research and figure out, because when you're in this energy of feeling very negative, it's so easy to pick up all the negative things. You're like, oh wow, I can think of all these negative things about myself. I can think about all these negative things about my life. I can, like, they come flowing to you. The change here is, okay, going from I can think of all these negative things really quickly to I can think of all these positive things really quickly, and it's harder for me to find the negative things, right? And you have to make that subconscious and that conscious effort to say, I want to switch this. I want to go from, I've got all these 3 empty cups in front of me, but I want to switch my focus to what things do I have in my plus column. And this is something that takes work. And when you do that, then you start to take different actions. Then you start to see doors opening up, because you're looking at those things that are positive instead of those things that are keeping you in the negative. I feel like the biggest revelation that I feel like I've had for me is realizing that when you're always in the negative, you're always like, you're focusing and you're keeping yourself, which I know seems kind of simple, but it's just like, then you start, I guess I was thinking that, you know, you just have negative thoughts, but it like contributes to all of the actions that you're taking around yourself, that it contributes to all of the other things that you start doing and you start thinking, and it just starts snowballing. And it's like, when you switch your mindset to the positive, is then you start looking for all of those positive things, and you start looking for all of those good things that you have going on. It can be the littlest things. It could be like yesterday when I was driving in the morning, I saw the most beautiful sunrise. Like there was a whole bunch of clouds around, but yet the sun was just peeking through a little bit, so you could see the rays of the sun, and it was this beautiful pink lavender sky that was so amazing. And as I was driving, getting on the highway, and I was just like, wow, it was so beautiful. And I'm like, thank you. And I had like these like 3 like green lights in a row that, you know, that was just helping me to flow. And it was almost like the universe was helping me to get to where I could see this beautiful sunrise, and to be thankful for that. And those are a lot of things that we ignore when we are in this negative energy, and we're focusing on all of the negative things. And it's like when you're more in the positive, you start seeing these things, because you would ignore that if you're in a bad mood or you're feeling, frustrated. You're just like, you're just not realizing those things or seeing those things, or you kind of look at them and then you brush them away, and you don't really embrace that moment. And I feel like that's kind of where that shift is. So the energy that wants to come in for you is, we have the Knight of Wands. So I feel like it's kind of like you're struggling with this Page of Wands, and it's like those first actions that you take, but then when you realize where your focused energy needs to be, that it becomes a stronger, and you're actually able to take those steps to make those changes, because the Knight is like the next level up. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So I also feel like it has to do, like you think about taking different actions, and you see that your actions need to change, and you feel like you're taking more control of the situation. All right, and so I'm not going to take the whole stack. And then we have the Eight of Wands. So you have positive energy that's coming in for you with this Eight of Wands that's headed right towards you, with kind of that sun. And that kind of is reminding me of that sunrise that I was just talking to you about. And it's like that wants to come towards you. And again, it's about appreciating those little things that normally we would pass up, or we would skim over, or we wouldn't even think about. And it's like those are the things that start to add up to put you in this positive energy. So let's just get one card for overall energy. All right, we have two. And I can see why we have the two. All right, which is pretty cool, because this is what we have going on here. Is you got the Ace of Cups and you got the Ace of Wands. So it's like the energy is like it's time for you to change your actions and your emotions and your feelings, and to work through your emotions. I feel your emotions are connected to your actions. Like I was just saying earlier, is like kind of realizing that how you feel, right? How you're feeling. If you're feeling good, if you're feeling bad, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling frustrated, right? That says the actions that you're going to take. And I feel like when you start to become more aware of, okay, I'm feeling really sad, so then I'm seeing that these actions that I'm taking are keeping me in this sad energy. Or I'm feeling really happy, and I see that these actions that I'm taking are keeping me really happy. And it's kind of realizing that and saying those are connected. And you can choose what it is that you want to focus on. You can choose that connection of, I want to focus on the negative, I want to focus on the positive, right? And that you have the power and the ability to choose that. No matter what happens, no matter what challenge, even if you're in a situation where it's challenging for you, you can choose to get drawn in by the negative and the frustration, or you can choose to say, okay, yeah, this is challenging for me right here, but I'm choosing to see this as the universe is showing me how strong I am. The universe is showing me that I can overcome any challenge that comes my way. The universe is showing me that I can still stay positive even in a situation that is scary or is frustrating or is irritating or is, and then it's like the way that you feel afterwards feels so good, because you feel like you've overcome this challenge, and feeling so proud of yourself, and like patting yourself on the back and saying, I'm so proud of myself for overcoming that and working through that. And it's like the universe is just confirming that you are dedicated to feeling stronger and making better choices and shifting your focus for yourself. All right, let's grab a message from the Animal Oracle. So this one was kind of up front. So for some reason I was I was even feeling this energy of the horse spirit. Freedom is yours. Just like I was saying earlier, is that you choose what it is that you want to focus on, and freedom is yours. Freedom is yours. It's at your fingertips. It is something that you can have, but you have to be in that mindset of wanting it and saying that I want better for myself, and I choose to have this freedom from this negativity and from this deception that I am creating within myself, and from not listening to my intuition, because I feel like your intuition is telling you that you can come through this, that you are strong, that you can work through anything that you put your mind to, that you are more powerful than you realize. And the thing is that when you're, just like when you're in a negative mindset, you start to just kind of automatically do these negative things to keep you in this negative energy. Like you don't even really, like you just naturally, you start looking at, negative things on TV, scrolling through social media for a long time, and you're just, feeling right, and you start doing all of these things. But when you start to put yourself in this positive, then it's like because you're in this mindset, is you start looking for these things that are confirming this positive energy. I feel like that's the biggest thing that we have to realize, is that, like, depending on how our emotions are, our moods are, this is just my thought, in my opinion, is that we start to just naturally start searching out those things to confirm that feeling and to keep us in that energy. And I feel like when we're more aware of, okay, I'm being really negative, so I have to make sure that I don't. Like the other day I was kind of struggling, and I was kind of having an off day, and I was like finding myself feeling lazy, and I was aware of the fact that it was a struggle bubble day for me. But I made sure that I was very careful to not get into any bad habits and to not really spiral down, and just kind of, I relaxed for the day and I watched TV, and I was like, okay, this is okay. Like, I rested, I kind of took a nap. I'm not really a napper during the day, but when I nap, that means that I'm really tired. But I was aware of, I could definitely be spiraling down. And the next day, I got up and I felt much better. I did kind of in the morning have some negative feelings sorry, I get the hiccups when I do. Okay. I was aware in the morning that I was feeling kind of like groggy and kind of tired, and I was like, okay, but I kept trying to focus on the positive things, and then that's when I saw like the sunrise, and I was getting the green lights, and it was like, okay. And then it was like I was watching some motivational things on YouTube, and it started to make me feel better, and it was like, then I got myself out of that, and I was like, okay. So it's like, you're going to have those days where you're going to have those struggle bubble days, but if you're aware of that and you're like, oh, okay, I know that this is what is going on. Freedom is mine. I'm going to do the best that I can to get through this situation, but I know that I'm going to get myself back to that positive energy, that I'm going to get myself back into that positive manifesting motivational state. So let's grab a card from the Star Dragons. So we have Transcendence, achieving success. Right? Freedom is yours, success is yours, leveling up is yours, whatever that leveling up represents to you, because we're all unique and we're all different, and we all have different thoughts in our mind as what that represents. And it's always very important to make sure that you stick to what leveling up or success represents to you. And to not try and fall into that, well, so-and-so's success is this or success is that, and so-and-so says this. No, you do what you feel success represents to you. And if you're not sure what success represents to you, take a piece of paper and write that down and think about that. Even if you just like take 5 minutes. I feel that for me personally, that the more time that I take describing what it is that I want to have come into my life, or describing how I want my life to look, or putting myself into that energy and writing those things down and seeing those things, I feel that for me, it makes it more realistic. And those times when I'm struggling and I'm just like, oh, I don't know. And then I look at that piece of paper and I read through it, and it makes me feel happy. Like I feel the energy of those words that are on the page. And that is, again, one of those tools that I have that can help me through those struggle bubble times. And I can look at that and I can feel that energy. Like when I wrote it down, I felt really excited. And it was like, gain that energy back, or if I was playing a particular song was playing while I was writing that down. And it's like putting yourself back in that energy, even though at the current moment you don't feel that, but as you're reading that and you're looking at it and you're feeling that energy from it, it's like you're able to help yourself get yourself back into that energy. So we have sincere relationships, and I feel like it's very important with that community, which I've said so many times before, is that community that you surround yourself with, making sure that it's positive, making sure that it's helpful, making sure that, even if it's that community that you're looking on social media, is that a community that is helping you? Is that a community that is helping you to reach your goals? Is that a community that you feel is putting you in a positive frame of mind that you're able to learn things from? The people that you're surrounding yourself with and that you're talking to, is that, is it sincere relationships? Is it a good community? And having that sincere relationship with yourself and saying, okay, I need to make some adjustments here. I need to make some adjustments there, because I'm not really being sincere and I'm not really looking out for myself, that I'm kind of putting myself in situations that are bringing me stress and that are bringing me anxiety. And sometimes it's those things that we've done for a really long time, just like with me going to the barn, that it definitely helped me and it made me feel amazing. And it was it was like my secure area and it was my safe place. But things have changed now, so it's not the same for me anymore. The last time that I went there, I felt a lot of anxiety and I felt a lot of stress. And I'm like, this does not feel the same anymore. This feels so different. Like, this feels really wrong. So I ended up taking my stuff and I ended up taking it all and then bringing it home. And I'm like, it's just not my place anymore. Doesn't mean that won't change in the future, because I definitely have some friends there. But for me right now, even though that was a place that really helped me, for me right now, it's a different place for me now. And that's okay, because I'm changing, right? Those things that sometimes we had gotten used to, or that we, helped us, that as we grow and we evolve, those things change for us. We have the number 5, wisdom, and that is the Hierophant. And it's about, I feel like it's that inner knowing, and it's trusting yourself and having that faith and belief in yourself that you can bring those changes within, like learning from really being open and listening to yourself, to those emotions and feelings, that if you're feeling a different way about a relationship or a certain way about a relationship, that you're really being aware of that and you're saying, okay, I need to look out for myself and that I need to change those things. We also have, I felt another card here, we have the 2 of Swords and that mental conflict. I feel that that's what you're going through. I feel like you're going through changes, and that's what I've been saying lately for Capricorn, is I feel like Capricorns are going through those changes. Again, take what resonates, leave what does not. And it's like that mental conflict of the old you versus this new you that you want to move into. And it's like that in between is where you have that mental conflict and you have that struggle. And you're like, okay, I have to make some choices here with this 2 of Swords. Like, you have to make some choices. You kind of have to look at, okay, if I keep things the way that they are, they're not going to change. How am I going to feel? If I go through these changes, right, and I adjust, just like with this 4 of Cups here, and I adjust my focus, right, that I know that I have this negativity right here in front of me and it's going on, but I'm choosing to look in this other direction, that's something that I'm going to have to work on. And having that trust within myself that I can create this freedom is mine, right? To be that free spirit, to have that life that you want, to have that life that you've been always dreaming of, and to make that a reality, not putting that on anyone else, but putting that on you, and having that sincere relationship with yourself and saying, this is what is really important to me and this is what I want to have happen. Let's grab a Wisdom of the Oracle. I kind of feel like this: chop wood, get busy, get to work. I like this one. This is one of my favorites in here, is because it's about, you have to do the work. You have to do the work. And things that you want to manifest and things that you want to bring in, like, part of it is, like what I was saying earlier, is that when you have that mental clarity and you start to listen to that intuition and you start believing in yourself and you have faith in yourself, and that is what, again, helps you to take actions to bring in that life that you want to have, to be able to move past this place where you feel stuck and that you want to open up new doors, is that, just like I was saying, is that when you're in a negative mindset, you do those things that create the negativity. When you're in a positive mindset and you're in this, you want change mindset, then you start to do those things that bring that in for you. And that's what you have to realize, is that if you're always being negative and you're always looking at things like you surround yourself, you do those things that confirm that. And it's how you see things and look at things. But when you're in that positive, when you want this Ace of Cups and you want this Ace of Wands energy, that you want these new feelings, that you want these new actions, right? That you want this in your life, that's what you have to focus on. And when you feel that peacefulness and calmness and you feel that positivity within yourself and you say, yeah, I want to focus on the positive, then you just naturally start doing those things that enhance those feelings. And that's what you have to realize. You have to do the work. It's hard. I don't want to say it's hard like in a negative way, because then you're like, I don't want to do the hard work. I'd rather just stay, negative. I'd rather just stay grumpy and sad and frustrated. And so I don't want to say like it's hard work, but it's trying to change a thought process and a pattern that you've developed over many years and a long time. And it's trying to change that, but knowing that on the other side, you have these amazing rewards of that self-development, having those rewards of this Ace of Cups and of this Ace of Wands, and knowing that that's where you're headed and that that's the goal that you're working towards, that that's what you want to have, and that you want to create this life and have this life that is your success, right? That is your achieving success, whatever that represents. And it doesn't mean that it ends there. Like, you can always have more and more goals that you set for yourself. And something that, sets the achievers apart is they're the ones that put the work in, and that they don't give up when it seems like it's hard, and when the work gets hard, and when the times get tough. It's the people that push through that come out on the other side. It's so much easier to just stay like where you're at. It's so much easier to just give up and stay in the negativity and just have those little glimpses of positive here and there. And that's how my life used to be. And that's not what I want. You have to really choose that for yourself. And you have to seek out those things that you need to do, those tools that you can create and that you have. And you have to seek out and really look at those patterns that you've created within yourself and those things that you're doing within yourself. And you have to get to work and do it. Just like when I said the other day that I was having a negative day, like I saw that it was going to be a struggle bubble day, but I did the work to say, okay, I'm going to make sure that even though I know that it's okay that I'm struggling, it's a day that I'm having to process. I went through a lot of things last week. I kind of purged a lot of things from my life. I changed a lot of things in my life, and I'm like, it's okay to give myself that time and that day to work through these things, to cry it out, to feel sad, to feel frustrated, to feel really emotionally and physically tired. Like, it's okay for me to do that. But I'm just going to make sure that I do it in a safe way for myself, that I'm not going to spiral back into old habits or old ways. Because I could feel myself trying to push myself or to get myself, oh, like, you're feeling sad now, you're feeling lonely now, like this used to be your comfort zone, so let's expand on that. And I'm like, no, like, I'm not going to expand on that. I'm not going to go in that direction. I'm going to keep myself safe. So it's just kind of realizing those things and doing the work when it's needed, and doing the work that you have to do to keep yourself, and what those tools are that you have that can help you through those struggle times. And you have to do the work. You have to do the work. But then that work starts to become easier and easier because it starts to become your new norm. And that's what you have to realize too, is that it doesn't become work. In the beginning, it seems like work. But then it just becomes natural for you to be that way, and it just becomes easy for you to be that way. And so that's what you have to realize. I hope that all made sense. All right, thank you so much for watching, especially if you're still hanging in there with me. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing day. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.